You're welcome to Maximilian Space. So here we talk about snail farming or snails. Anything that has to do with snails, we talk about it here in this channel. So today I'm going to be talking about how to treat your sick snails. Snails. How to treat your sick snail. If you notice that your snail is sick or not well or not active, that means the snail is not okay. Yes, and this is going to be like 3-in-1 video. Yes, I'm going to be talking about 3 things because the most important thing that I know that you have to do is to prevent your snails from getting sick. Yes, I know that that's the most important. Yes, I can just tell you that no, if your snails are sick, do this, do that, but it will not help you, because when your snails are always sick, it will not be good for your snail farm. So first of all, I'm going to be telling you how to prevent your snails from getting sick. Yes, from not being well. Yes, from not being okay. Sorry. So the very first, I already said it in my other videos, that before you start a snail farm, you have to prepare a place where you keep them. It's very important. Overcrowding increases the rate of diseases in snails. Overcrowding is very important. Don't put too much snails in a small space. Now, the most number of snails, or let me just say the average number of snails that you can put in a meter square box is maybe 25. That's the average number that you put in a meter square box. Yes, if you overcrowd them, they will start getting sick because they don't have space to be free. Even us humans, I like to compare my snails with humans, because I know that all of us are living things. Yes, those things that are not good, that I know that if I do or I don't do will hinder my growth or not being fine, I consider it too with snails. Yes, if you are in a tight space, you will not do well. So snails too, overcrowding affects them. Now, and if they are overcrowded, it will when one gets sick, when one is affected, it will be easier for the others to be affected because they are overcrowded. And you know, the diseases that they have, as they touch each other, that's how they transmit the diseases. So if your snails are overcrowded, you will find out that you will lose a lot of snails, which is not good. Okay, now the second important thing to take note of, it is very, very important, is the feeding of your snails. Is very, very important. First of all, you don't have to limit your snails to one type of food. Take for example, if you are eating one type of food always, you will not grow well. You will get sick of the food. So that is the same with snails. You don't have to limit them to one particular type of food. That's why I mentioned in my other video that I had given my snails all the leaves that I could find, and they were getting sick of it until I found out about okra leaf. And when you notice that your snails are not doing well, you also know that the food that you are giving them, they don't eat it. Yes, when snails don't eat what you give them, just know that there's a problem. They will not grow well and they'll start looking sick. So when you give them, maybe let me say the veggies, you give them bitter leaf today, you give them maybe purple leaf tomorrow, the next day you give them okra leaf, the next day you give them potato leaf. That is how you should feed your snails, with variety. And make sure you always provide your snails with calcium. They should always consume calcium. It's very good for them, it's very essential. Now for the food too that you're giving your snails, somebody asked me a question that is it good to, or are you supposed to just throw the food of your snails' food in their pen, or you're supposed to put it in a tray? Yes, it depends. For me, if I'm giving them formulated feed, I cannot just throw it in their pen, because first of all, you have to remove the leftover. the food that is remaining the next morning, you always have to remove it. So I give them in a tray. In the morning, I just remove the tray. No matter what is remaining there, I remove. But they always eat it all. They always finish their, even if they don't finish it, it will just remain a small portion, and I cannot leave it there. If it's something like veggies, purple leaf, all the leaves, you can leave it. If they are not finished, if there's a leftover, you can still leave it. They'll finish it. Then you can leave it like for 2 days, because it's not like this formulated feed that you've mixed things, and very soon if you allow it there, it will attract things like flies and all those things that are not good, because those insects too, they cause diseases in snails. So you just have to put the formulated feed in a tray always, so that the next morning you remove it and you replace it or something. But you don't always have to give them every day the formulated feed every day. Apart from calcium, you always have to give them calcium. But for the vegetables like purple leaf, cassava leaves, potato leaves, yes, potato leaves, you can give them and you leave it there, because if you harvest potato leaf, it has the stem. Okay, if you have the time to be removing the leaves, or you have a big tray, or you can put it in a tray, why not do it? But I don't do that. When I give my snails leaves, I just put it directly. I put it in several spots so that they will not be crowded in one place when they are eating. Others in other areas can reach it easily. So I leave it like for 2 days. Then when they are finished eating the leaves, I just come and remove the stem like this. Yes, so this is an example. This is what I'm talking about. So here is the stem of potato. These potatoes leaves, the stem. So they have eaten all the leaves. I just come now and remove these stems. So no need looking for a tray to put this. But if you can, if you don't want your snail pen, like you want it to be so clean, you can put it on the tray or whatever you can put it on, so that you will just come and remove it. But I don't see the need, because when they finish eating the leaves, I just come and remove the stem, and I will not have a problem of like my pen getting dirty all the time. Yes, so that is another thing. You always have to remove leftover food from their pen. And another thing, you always have to clean your snail pen every month. Yes, if not every month, I would not say every month, because we have other things to do. But when you notice that your snail pen is so dirty, you have to clean it, because that also increases the risk of diseases for your snails. So you have to, when you notice that things are like flies, all those things are there, you have to remove them. Now what I do is I take the advantage of removing my snails from their pen to clean their pen, to also wash them, because I notice that when I wash my snails, all there are things that come out from their body, and they become fresh. And that is one of the ways of treating your sick snails. Yeah, sick snails. Yes, that's one of the way of treating your sick snails. You bring, the very first thing is you remove the snail from the pen. Yes, you separate the sick snail from the other snails, so that the sick snail will not contaminate the others. I've removed a few. I don't really have a sick snail now, but one thing I notice is, sorry, this video is, I don't like to do long videos, but this video is going to be long, because I really want to, I don't know if I'll really explain it well for you to understand. When I started my snail farm, I mentioned that I started my snail farm with 5 snails. Yes, so they were there. I never experienced anything like 6 snails. One of the reasons is because they were not overcrowded. They were there, they were very fresh, and I was feeding them just with veggies, because I have more than enough leaves to feed my snails with. I fed my snails with veggies for 6 months, only veggies, like no formulated feed, and they were fine. I did not experience any sick snail or any snail that is not well. But I was watching other snail videos. Yes, I was watching snail video, how to feed your snails, how to take care of your snails, all those things. But I never experienced a sick snail or whatever. My snails stayed for 2 months before they started giving egg. I have all the videos. I'm going to post them, but I have to do a few things on the video before posting them, because they are just raw videos that I took randomly. So but I stayed for 2 years. My snail stayed for 2 months before they started giving eggs, and I experienced no sick snail. Later on I discovered that is because one of the reasons is because they were not overcrowded. And the second reason is because I was feeding them mostly with veggies. Yes, when your snails feed mostly with veggies, they will hardly get sick. All right, somebody told me that moringa leaves is very good for snails. Like, it prevents the snails too from getting sick, and in case of any bacteria, moringa leaves cures the snail. Sorry, but I've never fed my snails with moringa leaves. So, but bitter leaf too, because the person told me that bitter leaf too is a good medicine for snail. Yes, bitter leaf. But that's why I feed my snails with so much bitter leaf. Yes. I feed them a lot. Yeah, that's it. I feed them a lot with bitter leaves. All the purple leaves too, it has health benefits to us humans. Bitter leaf too. So I try my possible best to feed my snails mostly with vegetables, leaves. So that's why. So okay, I mentioned that when I started my snail farm, they were not, I did not experience sick snails because they were not overcrowded. Now guess what? When they started increasing, I came one day and I met a dead snail in my snail pen. You know that feeling, right? I was touched. Like, I was confused, I was angry, and I was sad. That was happening. But in which I later discovered that it is the overcrowding. They were overcrowded. That's why I had to make another space for the young ones. Yes, and that is one of the reasons that you always have to separate your young snails from the adult snails. They are not supposed to be in the same space. You have to always separate them. And again, I will advise you not to mix species when you're rearing snails. If you are rearing 2 species, the 2 species should be in separate space. Don't mix Achatina with Achatina marginata. Personally, I don't see it as good for the snails. Yes, it's always good to keep the same species in a particular space. All right, another thing is how you protect your snails from pests. Yes, because pests, trust me, they can leave your snails with diseases that you not even imagine, like cockroaches, lizards, all those pests like that, millipedes, caterpillars. Yes, that's why you have to protect your snails by using a mosquito net, or a net that will not permit those pests, those parasites or reptiles to be able to enter inside your snail pen. Now, when I started my snail farm, I told you I just started it like a joke. Yes, but later on I took it seriously. So I was using this grill, yes, to cover my snails. Those 5 snails, I was using it. According to me, it was just there to prevent my snails from escaping, but I did not know that I'm also supposed to protect my snails from other pests like rats and cockroaches and millipedes, all those reptiles. I did not know that I was supposed to protect my snails from them, so I just used this to cover my snails. So it was later on that I found out that it was not only my snails that I was rearing inside the pen. There were other things there, like millipede. Millipede is just a word. Millipede likes to go in between them. So that's when I had to remove them and make sure to cover them with mosquito net. With that, I know that those things will not be able to penetrate them, because those things like that, they actually cause diseases in snails. So always have to protect your snail by covering it well, so that those pests will not be able to enter inside your snail pen. And plus, when you're doing the soil pen, you always have to sterilize your soil. Yes, sterilize your soil and change your soil to every time you see that no, it is kind of, because when you're watering your snails, for those who are watering their snails, when you're watering your snails, you find out that even if you're not putting the food directly on the soil, but there are particles that will touch the soil that will make the soil to be, those things that get rotten in the soil, it will attract maggots and other things. Those things to actually lead to diseases in snails. So you have to always sterilize your soil, change your soil every month, or anytime you see that you have to change it. You see that no, you yourself, you know, when you see something and you know that no, my snails are not comfortable in this kind of place, you have to change it. Yes, so you do that to prevent. Now if your snails, if you find out that you already have a sick snail, now sorry, there are ways to find out that a snail is not okay, that a snail is sick. There are ways to find out. The first way to find out that your snail is not okay is that the snail becomes dormant, like the snail does not move, the snail does not eat. Yes, those are the ways to find out that your snail is not okay, that your snail is sick. And another way to find out is the weight of the snail. Yes, you find out all these my snails. It's a shame that I don't have any sick snail now. Look at these ones that I removed. This one, I even thought that maybe I wanted to use this one as an example. So these ones, they are okay. These ones are okay, but I'm just going to use one to show you if you notice. Okay, if you notice that your snail is sick, if you notice any of these symptoms, like a particular snail is dormant, a particular snail does not move from the position that you found it maybe the previous day, or maybe it does not eat, or it has lost weight. Look at this snail. If you look at it, the size, you know that no, this snail is okay, and the weight. But if you see a big snail, and in short, what you even see the meat of the snail will not be like this. You will really see that no, this particular snail is not okay. I don't know. Let me say like this one, but all these ones are okay. I don't know. But if you just notice, you will see it in the meat. You see that no, this snail is not okay. And if when you touch the snail, when you carry the snail, you know that it does not, it is light, like it does not weigh. You know that that snail is not well. So what you do is, first of all, you remove it from the other snails. You separate it from the other snails so that it will not contaminate the other snails. If there are 2 of them or 3 of them, you remove all of them. If it's one, just remove the one, and you wash it. Yes, you wash the snail. Use water. This natural water like this is medicine. Yes, even you, if you're not feeling okay and you take a bath, you see that you are a bit relieved, you feel a little bit fine. So you either you wash it, you wash the snail like this. You wash the snail very well. Yes, I even wash my snails even when they are not sick. I bring them out, I put them inside water, I wash them. You see that they become fresh. You see, you can. So you wash them very well, and when you wash them and you give that particular snail that is not feeling fine, you wash the snail. You can leave it inside water, you can wash it inside a deep bucket of water, and you remove it. When you remove it and you put it in a particular place, you put pawpaw leaf or bitter leaf. Yes, pawpaw leaf or bitter leaf. If you are in an area that you have moringa leaf, or where you can find moringa leaf, you can also give it the snails. Bitter leaf, pawpaw leaf, yes, they are very good. Those are the leaves that are very good. They prevent your snails from getting sick, they revive your sick snails. But the most especially, you wash the snails, use clean water to wash the snails very well. Yes, so that is just, I hope this video helped someone, and I made this video because somebody asked a question in regards to that. I hope this video helped not only the person but other people. Please, if you like the video, don't forget to press the like button, and if you have not subscribed, please do so. If you have a question, still ask. I will always try my best to answer your questions. Yes, there's no person who knows it all. Yes, all of us are learning. Even I am still learning. I always like to learn. If you see that I'm doing something that I'm not supposed to be doing, or something that is not correct, you still tell me in the comment section. I will learn. We'll see. You will compare ideas there. Because when I started my snail farm, I watched a lot of snail farming videos. A lot. Like, I could not watch all. I made sure that I watched, even sometimes I watched one particular video even 3 times, because I want to learn, to be able to grow my snail farm, and that's why I'm here too, because I'm encouraging snail farming. I would like to see that many people are going into snail farming, especially because of me. I will be very happy. I'm already happy. Some people are already doing it because of me, and we are there doing it together. Sometimes I go and check on their farms, and that's how it is, and that's how the life goes. We learn from each other, we help each other. So please don't forget to press the subscribe button after watch, or as you're watching this video. The red subscribe button below this video, please press it, and after pressing it, the bell that will appear, you press it too, so that you'll be notified when next I post a video. Ciao.